So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we have discussed about software which we have required to develop web API in .NET Core. So we have to install some software to start our web APIs part. So how can we develop our web APIs, right? Which software is required for them, right? So let's start. The required software, basically we have to install our operating system, uh, right? Windows, Mac, or Apple, any operating system. Sorry, Windows, Mac, or Linux, any operating system we have to install, either either Mac or Linux, right? And next one is .NET Core SDK version. We have to install .NET Core SDK version, or latest version, which currently working right now. We can You can install 2019, or right, for SDK version. Also you can install, you have to install Visual Studio 2019 or Visual Studio Code, right? You have to either install 2019 Visual Studio or Visual Studio any source CLI, right? So you have to install operating system, .NET Core SDK, and Visual Studio to. And next one is SQL Server. So SQL Server is required. Basically you have to, if you want to insert any data through APIs to our server side in database, so you have to use SQL Server 2019, right? From data's perspective, so first you have to install SQL Server 2009. Along with, you have to install SQL Server Management Studio. So it's a part of SQL Server. So you have to install both the packages, SQL Server 2019 and SSMS SQL Server Management Studio. Because SQL Server 2019 you have to install, then you can only use, you can't use SQL Server Management Studio proper. Like you have to create reporting or jobs, SQL jobs, or anything. So you have to install both the packages for this, right? And next one is Postman or SOAP UI. So Postman or SOAP UI basically is a client tool. So whenever you want to, you have to post any web API URLs to the server, so you have to use this kind of tools. So either you have to install Postman or SOAP UI. Anyone you can install, both work will the same way. So you can install Postman or SOAP UI, right? So these are the basic software which we have to mandatory to install in our system to develop any web APIs. So next one is operating system. So operating system, basically you are free to use any operating system, right? You have free to use any operating system like Windows, Mac, and Linux. Either you can install Windows, Mac, or Linux, because .NET Core is a open source and cross platform, right? It's a not any bounded platform, so it's a open source or cross platform. So you have to use any of the uh, uh, Windows, right, operating system in your server or your client machine, Windows, Mac, or Linux. So these are the mandatory softwares to install in your laptop, right, to develop your first web API. So in next video we have to learn our how to create web APIs in our in .NET Core. So and connecting to our database, how can we save the records in our database, get the record and delete the record, right?